Hello everyone and welcome to this YouTube channel of Dnyanada English School. This side is Megha Ma'am here, Head of Maths Department, Dnyanada English School, Pokhari, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar. In this presentation students, we are going to see some tips, strategies, paper pattern, paper presentation and information about the basic and standard maths from the board point of view. The paper code for standard maths is 041 and the paper code for basic maths is 241. The reason for sharing this information with you is that students, CBSE has given paper code to all the 5 subjects. So if you have opted for standard maths, you have to fill up 041 in your board answer sheet. And if you have opted for basic maths, you have to fill up the code 241 in your board answer sheet. CBSE Class 10 board exams are scheduled to take place in March 2024. The days before the examinations are very crucial students, and if you prepare it well, you can score good marks in maths without being any panic or hassle. There are majority of the students who fear about maths. They spend more of their time dreading about it rather than preparing for it. So, if you follow the right strategy in right direction, you can score 95 plus marks in such a good subject which is maths. So, here goes your first tip. Know the syllabus and division of the mark. Check the complete syllabus. What are the chapters? What are the topics in that? What are the subtopics? How it is related to your previous knowledge. At the same time, students, you should be familiar with how much weightage each and every chapter is having. Try to cover all the topics which are there in a chapter. Don't miss it. Revisit the syllabus regularly so that there is no scope that you will be missing any of the topic. So first you should be thorough with all the lessons which are there, and at the same time you should be knowing which topic is there in which lesson. Okay. Your second tip, which textbook you should study from. CBSE follows the curriculum designed and prescribed by National Council of Educational Research and Training, that is NCRT. So CBSE Class 10th Maths prescribes the NCRT textbook and the resource material. Remember students, first you have to be thorough with whatever the concepts are there in the NCRT textbook, and then you can follow n number of books which are available in the market. Though you will be following the other books, but remember this, the main concept always stands in the NCRT textbook. So first you should be thorough with the textbook. Practice the exercise questions which are there inside the textbook and which are outside the textbook as well. Plus at the same time, just see whichever the solved questions are there, whichever the unsolved questions are there in the in between the lesson and at the end of the lesson. It will give you a clear conceptual clarity. Your fourth tip, solve as many as CBSE sample papers as you can students. Every year CBSE releases the sample paper. There are two purposes for releasing this sample paper. First, you should have a clarity about the board question papers. What will be the type of board question paper? What is the paper structure? What type of questions will be asked? And second purpose is that student, at a glance you yourself can entail what will be the board paper if you solve the sample papers on your regular basis. Your fifth tip, practice as many as previous year's CBSE board papers as you can students, because it will help you in analyzing the type of questions which are asked. At the same time you will identify the pattern of the question paper. Okay. So, if you follow all these 5 tips, it will help you a lot. Know the syllabus and division of the marks, exact syllabus, what is there, what are the deleted chapters, what are the deleted topic. You should be first of all thorough with it, and whichever lesson is having more weightage, you should have be giving the more time to that lesson preparing for it. Second, which textbook you should follow, that the first thing you should be following the NCRT textbook. Practice all the exercise questions which are solved also, which are unsolved, which are in between the lesson and at the end of the lesson. Solve as many as CBSE sample question papers as you can, plus at the same time practice all the previous year board papers. Now here are some preparation strategies students. What strategies you should be following that will help you in preparing for the mathematics subject. First, create a schedule. See students, always planning helps a lot. Schedule means what? Planning. You should plan every day how you are going to prepare for the math subject. Every day, whether you are going to give it 1 hour or 2 hour, it is not possible for you to do maths for the whole day. So every day practice, make a schedule that for in evening or in the morning for 1 hour or 2 hour, I'm going to solve this and this lesson of the maths, or going to prepare this and this topic of the math. So first and most important thing, create your schedule, work on that first. Second, note down all the important formulas and theorems at one place. See student, during the time of exam you are in a very panic or hustle. Then instead of turning the pages and searching for which formula is where and what are the statements of the theorem, so it will consume you a lot of time. So from the starting only, prepare a book, and in that book, whatever the syllabus is there, in whichever lesson theorems and formulas are there, jot it down. Writing always helps. So you have to write down all the formulas and theorems at one place, so at a glance, while going for the exam you can revise it. Second, prioritize the topics that carries the more marks. Okay, daily practice helps a lot. See students, you cannot learn maths, you have to, if you want to score good marks in maths, if you want to do mastery in maths, everyday practice is very much important. Don't give too much of time. Every day you give 1 hour, 2 hour, or just give first, let us start from half hour. Take a topic, solve 4 to 5 questions based on that, then day by day go on increasing it. You yourself will increase the interest in math subject. Okay, next step is, check the time you need to solve. Take a question, put timer. Let us see how much time do you take for solving a question, how much time you require it. Once, if you are solving it for the first time, it will require a lot of time students. If you are going to solve it for the second time, it will consume your less time, and once you are prepared with that concept, it will take your less time. So always check the time while solving the questions. Your next tip is, practice solving in clean and clear way. As I always say, presentation carries marks. Your presentation will help you only. So if you are solving a question, you should be clear with what are the steps in that, what steps you have to take, and do not what are the unnecessary steps. Okay, do avoid that. Practice the graph questions. Yes, every day you should be practicing the graph question when and where the lesson related to the graph is over. Don't think that the graph is very much easy and I can draw it, what is there in that horizontal and vertical line, and simply put up the coordinates. No, it's not like that students. As I always say, when you are drawing the graph, your pencil should be properly sharp. You should be using the scale. Neither your line should be too thick, neither your line should be too thin. So it can be drawn in a good way only by practicing it. Okay, while solving the questions, do not use the shortcuts. If the question is for 2 marks, solve the required steps. If the question is for 5 marks, you have to go for the full steps. So don't use the shortcuts while solving. Next, do not prepare the new topics at the last minute students. So that's why I'm saying you that know the syllabus, whatever topics are there, whatever subtopics are there, whatever the small topics are there, prepare it right from the beginning. So you don't have to jump at the time of exam, and last minute you have to prepare the new topic. You won't remember it during the time of exam. Take good food and good quality of sleep children. Why? Because this is very important for your brain to be fresh, for you to feel fresh. Keep your mind set and steady. Take good food, have enough of sleep. Don't do things in the burden. Okay, keep your mind relaxed. Take short breaks when you are doing the studies. And more important students, always do the studies in the morning, because in the morning your brain is fresh. So whatever things you are doing at that time, it will be memorized automatically in your brain. Okay, so morning studies are always helpful in that. Studies has also proven, if you do the things at night, if you are studying late nights, you won't remember many things in the morning. But if you are doing it in the morning time, students, definitely at somewhere at back of your mind, you will be preparing well in the morning studies. Okay. So now let us proceed towards our course structure. There are 7 unit students. In the first unit there is the number system, and for it the weightage is of 6 marks. Second unit is algebra, weightage unit is 20 marks. Third unit is coordinate geometry, marks weightage is 6 marks. Okay. Then fourth unit is geometry, 15 is the weightage for that geometry part. Then fifth is the trigonometry, 12 marks weightage. Sixth unit is mensuration, 10 marks unit weightage. And then seventh topic is the statistics and probability, 11 marks. So in this way 7 units are covering 80 marks your board written paper. Plus at the same time 20 marks you are having for paper pen test, which will be conducted in the school. At the same time portfolio, which will be including your this CWs and your activities. Third is the lab practical of mathematics. So in this way you will be covering 20 marks at school level and 80 marks your board papers. Okay. So here are some preparation tips from exam point of view. See students, the easy and scoring chapters are: first is the real number. Real number. In real number, if you see, the subtopics are HCF and LCM, which you have already studied in your previous classes. So this is very much easy. Then the next is the proving of rational and irrational. Remember this students, in number system only one chapter is there, that is the real number, and it is having 6 marks. So if you prepare this topic thoroughly, you will be prepared for 6 marks. This is very easy chapter. Second is the polynomials. Again, polynomial is related to your previous knowledge. In this lesson only you have to addition is there, that is the verify the relationship. You know how to solve the quadratic equations. Okay. Once the quadratic equations are solved, once the alpha and beta values are taken out, then simply you have to go for verifying the relationship between the zeros, that the sum of the zeros and product of the zeros. Two exercises are there in this lesson students. One is the graph based, simply you have to look at it and you have to answer, and second one is the where you have to verify the relationship. So if you prepare this topic, again this topic falls in algebra part, which is having 20 marks. 4 lessons are there in algebra topic. One of the lesson is polynomial. Okay. Third is the coordinate geometry. In coordinate geometry, if you prepare the formula, that is the distance formula and section formula, so you will be again thorough with this chapter. Solve n number of questions based on this distance formula and section formula. Write down the formulas 5 to 10 times students, and as I said, prepare a book, and in that book also you write these formulas. So at the time of exam you only have to revise it. Again, coordinate geometry alone is having 6 marks. Next is the areas related to circle. Okay, areas related to circle falls under mensuration, which has how many marks? If you see, it is having 10 marks. Okay, so in mensuration there is areas related to circles and statistics. So if you prepare both of these lessons, so you can have 10 marks. Okay, again surface area volume is also there. In that also, if you see, cone, sphere, hemisphere, cylinder formula is there. In statistics also, mean, mode, median formula is there. 4 formulas are there students in statistics. If you prepare those 4 formulas, you will be prepared for the statistics lesson. Statistics and probability come together with 11 marks. And in mensuration, areas related to circle and surface area volume comes, which has how many marks? Which has 10 marks. So if you prepare this formula based lesson students, you yourself can score good marks. So jot down the formulas 5 to 10 times. Yes. And solve the questions based on that. First you try it by looking in the book one or twice, and then next you yourself will be applying the formulas, and you yourself can solve it and analyze how much you are prepared for this chapter. Last is the probability. Again, probability and statistics comes together. In probability, simply sure events and impossible events or unsure events are there. So if you again you are thorough with this topic also, this is very much easy, And remember this, for case study probability lesson is always asked. Okay. Then next, geometry based chapter. There are two geometry based chapters, that is the circles and triangles. So for geometry based chapter, the marks weightage is 15. So if these two chapters you prepare thoroughly, students, you can score 15 marks. In circle lessons, as you know, there are two theorems. Okay. And in triangle lesson, again there are though 5 theorems are there, but the main theorem is BPT, that is basic proportionality theorem, and converse of basic proportionality theorem. So if you are thorough with this theorem, students, you can solve the questions, you can prove the questions which are based on this property, and you can score 15 marks. Yes, compulsorily 3 to 5 marks questions are asked on this topic. Next is the word problem based chapters. Word problem based chapters are quadratic equations, arithmetic progression, trigonometry, some application of trigonometry, linear equation in two variables. So students, if you see in algebra topic, that is for 20 marks, there are 4 lessons. The first lesson is the polynomial lesson. Next is the quadratic equation, linear equation, and arithmetic progression. Quadratic equation you have you are studying from right from 7th standard. What are the quadratic equation? In this 10th standard, students, you are going to see its advanced version, that is the discriminant. Okay, what are the quadratic formula, how you can apply it, and how you can use the discriminant over there, and few word based problems will also be there. In arithmetic progression, again there are the formulas also, and the word problem based also questions are there. It is a lengthy chapter, students, but it's very much easy. So if you prepare those 4 to 5 formulas, plus you will be able to solve the easier questions which are asked for 1 and 2 marks also, plus at the same times you will be able to solve the questions which are of 3 and 5 marks. Next is the trigonometry, that you know that SOHCAHTOA and everything you have to do over there. Then next is the some applications of trigonometry, where the elevation of angle of depression and elevation you have to solve, and those questions will be asked for compulsorily for 5 marks. Remember students, when you are solving the 5 marks questions based on trigonometry or some applications based on of trigonometry, remember you have to draw a figure. 4 marks will be there for solving, and 1 mark will be there for drawing the figure. So then and there only draw the figure, students. Okay. Next is the linear equation in two variable. Graph questions are only there in this lesson, plus at the same time elimination and substitution method is there, which is very much easy. Again you can score 3 to 5 marks. Okay. So this was about the chapters which are there in the mathematics, which are covering the 7 units. Next is the paper pattern. Now students, if you see, maths paper is divided into 5 sections: section A, section B, section C, section D, and section E. Okay, in section A, it is MCQ based. 20 questions are asked, and 20 questions are carrying 20 marks, 1 mark each question. Now the estimated time for solving the MCQs is, that is 35 to 40 minutes. You should be taking only 1 to 2 minutes for solving each question of the MCQ. Second is the very short answers. Section B, it is carrying 10 marks. Okay, 5 questions are there, 2 marks each. The estimated time for solving it is 18 to 20 minutes. Means at max you should be giving 4 minutes for solving each of the very short answers. Next is section C. Section C is having 6 questions. Okay, 3 marks each. That is means for 18 marks this section is there, and the estimated time for solving this is 30 minutes. Means at max you can give 5 minutes for solving each question. Section D, that is the long answers. In that there are 4 questions will be asked, which will be of 5 marks. Okay, at max you should be giving 10 minutes for solving each question. That means you will be requiring 35 to 40 minutes for solving the long answers. Remember students, please don't take any shortcuts while solving section C, D, and E. Okay. Then if you see section E, in section E there are 3 case studies will be asked. There it will be for 4 marks. Means one case study for 4 marks. and the estimated time for solving each case study question is 10 minutes. Okay, so at max you should be requiring 25 to 30 minutes for solving the case study question. So in this way students, for solving these 5 sections you must not be requiring more than 160 minutes. You should be utilizing your 10 minutes for reading the board question paper thoroughly, and once the paper is solved at the end, 10 minutes you should be giving for rechecking the paper. Don't utilize whole 3 hours only for solving the paper. Yes, finish your paper before time. So whenever you are solving the question paper, children, remember to look at the time. So this was your pattern paper. Now next, if you see here, there is the paper presentation tips. How should be your board paper, students? The first tip is that draw 1 centimeter margin on the right hand side. Or whenever you are getting the answer sheet, firstly you have to fill up all the information which is there on the answer sheet, and then start by drawing the right hand side margin. Okay, and at the last of the answer sheet, students, you can do the rough work. At the same time, you can jot down the important formulas and the trigonometric value table, so it will save your time if in the starting only you are doing this. Okay, then next is the write down the question number properly. While copying down the question numbers from the question paper to answer sheet, students, do not make any numerical errors. Try to avoid it. So whatever the question number is there, please write the question number and its sub question properly. Then next tip, always start a new question on a new page. Try to solve, suppose section B is having one of the questions, so try to solve that one question on one page. Take the next question on another page. If the question is lengthy, students, then you can go for 2 pages. Okay, don't draw a line in the middle, solve half over here and half over here. Please don't do that. Solve the whole solve the question on the whole page. Okay, then next is copy the values correctly from the question paper, double check the values and then proceed. See students, whatever numericals are given over there, while copying down that from the question paper to your answer sheet, be attentive. Okay, don't mistake in doing that. And what you call this as a silly mistake, this is not a silly mistake, student, this is a very big mistake. If instead of 53 you are writing 35, that is a very big mistake which will cost you. Okay, so be attentive while writing the numbers from the question paper on the answer sheet. Solve all the sub questions of the main question in one place only. Suppose students, instead of going for section A, that is MCQ, you have decided that first you want to solve section B. So in section B there are 5 questions. Yes. So first solve all the 5 questions and then proceed towards the next question. Don't do like that, that the 4 questions you know how to solve and in one of the question you are not knowing, or you have forgotten that how to solve it. So you are solve, and at the end you know that yes, I know this question and I can solve. So don't do like that. Don't solve it at the last, then and there only you leave the space. So if you have attempted any of the section, solve all the questions which are there in that there only. Okay, don't do like that. First sections B 4 question, and then section C, and then again section B one of the remaining question. Please avoid it. Okay, then next is, if you missed a particular sub question, then only solve it at the last. If you have missed it, if you have not left the place for that, then only go on the last page for solving it. Okay, your next tip is pay attention to your handwriting. Handwriting matters a lot, students. Your presentation matters a lot. If you have solved all the paper correctly, but few things are not visible properly in your paper, so you might lose your marks over there. So pay attention towards your handwriting, and always try to avoid mistake on the first page. Your first page is your impression, students. As we say, first impression is the last impression. So try to avoid the mistakes. Yes, and see to it that your papers are error free. And in case if you have made a mistake, so don't cut it with pen fully. Just simply scratch it in a small manner or simply strike through it. Okay, Then draw the diagrams using scale and sharp pencil only. As I always say, whenever you are drawing the diagrams, your line should neither be too thick, neither it should be too thin. Okay, it should be properly visible, and always use scale for drawing the diagrams. Plus your pencil should be properly sharp. Mention all the measurements and arrowheads correctly from the answer sheet. Mention the theorems or properties wherever you have used it. Okay, don't forget to write the theorems and identities or whatever you have used in the right side, okay, while solving the questions. Also in the trigonometry questions, also mention the identities properly. Your paper should be very much descriptive, students. Please do not use any shortcuts. According to the marks weightage, your paper should be. Then next, for the graph question, mention the question number at the top correctly. And as I said, your pencil should be properly sharp. Use scales to draw the graphs. Represent x-axis and y-axis at the right corner. At the same time, very important, mention the scale for x-axis also and for y-axis. And once you have finished with the graph, students, once you have finished with your solving of the question paper, do not try the graph paper at the end of the paper. Tie it in the middle of your answer sheet. Okay, write your name and roll number also at the bottom of the graph paper. Take utmost care with complex questions. Do not try to do them in a hurry. Take your time and do the questions which are having the more weightage. Then do the calculations in the rough part and then note the final answer in the fair. Do the rough part, students, if you want, since you are utilizing for solving one question, one full page. So do its rough part then and there only. So from there only you can jot out the correct numerical. So it will be, your paper will be error free. Then highlight the final answers by drawing a box or by underlining it. You can draw or you can underline it at the end. Okay, then if the MCQs carries more than 1 marks, then only show the entire calculations. Else there is no need, students. Simply you can put the question number, its sub question, and whatever is the correct answer. Then for statistics question, always remember that you have to draw the table with pencil and scale only. Don't draw with pen. Okay, it will not give you a good presentation to your paper. In the case of mensuration question, students, write the correct formula and check the units. Okay, if in the question it is given centimeter, but your final answer is required in meter, so do convert it into meter. And if it is related to area, always remember to write square units. Okay, and if the units are not mentioned, then as you know, we use the standard as units. Okay, different units must be first converted into the standard units. Then next, if no units are mentioned in the question paper, just write units after the answer. Okay, in case of pi, whatever value is mentioned, you have to use. If in the question paper they have asked you, suppose the area of sector you have to find out, and they have asked you to take the value of pi as 22/7, so take the value of pi as 22/7 over there, else they can give you 3.14 also. So you have to put whatever value they had asked you to put, either 3.14 or either 22/7. If nothing is given, then you can use 22/7 for the value of pi. Then write the equations on the either side of the margin. See to it that, students, whenever you are writing your equal to sign while solving, it should be following one after the other. It should be in one line. It will give the very nice look to your answer. Okay, then if you are stuck at any of the question, move towards the next question. Don't stuck over there only thinking about it and wasting your time over there. You come back to that question once you have finished with your whole question paper. Yes, don't stuck over there only, and don't lose your confidence also. Then manage your time properly while solving. You must know that how much time should be given to how much of the questions are there, what is the weightage of the question. Yes, then mention the number of supplements and graph taken. Now, the number of supplements if you have taken, you need to mention it on your answer sheet. Plus you need to mention the graph also. Mention and clearly highlight the formula, theorems or identities wherever or whenever you have used it. As I had already told you, at the right hand side, if you have proven something with the help of the theorem property, so do mention it over there. Then in the end, go through the paper once. Check your paper, students. Once you have finished with your paper, check it thoroughly. See, try to finish your paper before time, before 10 to 15 minutes. Yes, and give 15 minutes for rechecking the paper. Don't be in a hurry. No, I have solved this and then I know I will be getting this much of the marks. Don't be in that overconfidence. Okay, overconfidence always results in losing the marks, students. Okay, so checking the paper is always beneficial. Check your question paper answer sheet right from the beginning. Also check your question paper, that if you have by mistake, if you have left any of the question. Okay, so this paper presentation tips will help you in writing the paper in a very good manner and scoring good marks. So next is here, what mistakes you should never make, so you will lose the marks. The common mistakes which are done during the exam, try to avoid this. Not reading the question paper properly. Always, whenever you are getting the question paper, do read it first properly. Give 10 minutes. Okay, and while reading the question paper, students, also if any of the question you are not getting, don't lose your confidence also. Okay, keep in your mind, at the back of your mind, that yes, I know its answer, but I'll be doing that question at the end. So not reading the question paper can also result in losing the marks. The second tip is stucking on tough questions. Stucking on tough questions, children, will be consuming your time. Okay, so if you don't know any of the question, proceed towards the next question. Okay, numerical errors, well, like I said, copying down the numbers from the question paper can make you lose the marks if you are copying down it in a wrong manner or in a wrong way. Okay, then next, solving without the proper steps. As I have told you, if it is a 2 mark question, then there is no need that you should be solving that question for 2 pages. Okay, you should understand, you should prioritize that if the question is for 2 marks, how much steps are needed. If the question is for 5 marks, how much steps are needed. Don't use the shortcut, students, else the examiner will use the shortcuts in giving you the marks. Okay, forgetting to draw the figure. As I said, in trigonometry, if 5 marks question is definitely asked, 4 marks are there for solving and 1 mark is for drawing the figure. Remember this. So don't do like that, that firstly you have solved the question and you have decided that with the scale and pencil at the end I will be drawing the figure. Don't do that. Okay, then and there only, once you have finished with the answer, then and then only you draw the figure. Okay, then leaving the easiest question until the last. Don't do this also, students. If you know the this section I can solve, so first go with that. If the section is very much easy, so it will consume your less time, so first solve that. Okay, and your presentation should not be shabby, it should not be bad, it should look good. Good presentation always matters. Okay, but with right answers, remember this. Then wrong question numbers, as I had already told you, numerical errors. Forget to watch the time. In your solving, don't get too much of engaged, students. You should have this much also at the back of your mind, that how much time you have to use for that particular question, for solving that particular question. It should not more be time consuming, because at the end you have to recheck your paper. Okay, so don't forget to recheck your answer sheet. Okay, if you have committed any mistake, you can rectify it. It can only be done if you have recheck your paper. So these were some mistakes which the students make while writing the paper, and then you think once the results are out that I have written so much, then why I have got less marks. The reason behind this is that, students, many reasons I had given you, try to avoid it. Okay, and I hope with this tips you will be writing your paper very neatly, nicely and in a correct manner. Always remember, your paper should be neat, clean and nice. Okay, now here is some information about the basic and standard maths. Okay, now what is the difference between the basic and standard maths? See students, syllabus is same for both the basic maths and standard maths. The difference between that is only the exam level. Okay, for standard maths the exam level is little bit tougher as compared to the basic maths. As I said, syllabus is same for the basic maths and standard maths, but for basic maths you will be having the easy exam level, means the questions will be based on the basic concepts. Okay, the level will be very easy as compared to the standard maths, but the syllabus will be same. And since if you have opted for the basic maths instead of standard maths students, so for 11th and 12th you cannot take the PCM group, that is the physics chemistry maths group. You can go for PCB group. Okay, that is physics chemistry and bio if you are opting for the science faculty. So if you want to change from basic maths to standard maths, this also you can do students. In the starting of the year, if you have opted for the basic maths instead of standard maths, so once you're and after the board exams are over and you decide that no, I want to go to the stream where mathematics is there, but now how you can go over there since you have chosen basic maths and you have given the board exam of basic maths? So you can change this student by doing or by giving the compartment exam. So compartment exam helps you to go for the stream where there is mathematics is there. Its registration starts in the month of June. That once you are in March April your board exams are over, in the same year in the month of June the registration for the compartment exam starts. Admit cards are given in the month of July. The exams are held in the month of August, and at the same time students, the results are also declared in the month of August. So if you want to change your mind after giving the maths board exam, then you can go for the mathematics stream by giving the compartment exam. So these were some tips students. If you apply this, I hope you will come out with the good flying colors and the desired result in mathematics. Okay, so do well in maths. Yes, and best of luck for your future. Okay, thank you so much.